Hi guys, thank you for watching this video of mine. I'm Kimbo Witchery and it's good to be back on YouTube. What a crap opening that was. I guess I've sort of got out of the habit of making YouTube videos a little, so these first few uploads are probably going to be quite uncomfortable. Excuse me. So I've been making strides towards producing more professional looking and better lit vlog videos. I've ordered a different camera. I said in my last video that I found my camera charger. That didn't quite go to plan, considering that when I actually dug the camera out and put it on, I'd forgotten that it's a really old digital SLR and it doesn't actually have a video mode. Fail. So I've ordered a portable, like a vlogging camera, which should be on its way anytime now. So when that comes, I'm going to try and do videos in another room with better light. The video now only works, you can only see my face because I have a ridiculously bright screen on my computer that lights up my face, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see me at all. So that little ramble out of the way, I wanted to make a video about just a little update video really, I suppose. This doesn't really have a theme, so to speak. I just wanted to bump my gums about some stuff that's going on in my brain at the moment. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was what I've been up to in the last couple of weeks, I suppose. I've been doing an online course that I've wanted to do for about a year and a half. Some of you may not have heard of this lady. If you're a fan of the singer Emily Autumn, you've probably heard of her. Basically, there's a woman in Brooklyn, New York called Veronica Vallo. She's a burlesque dancer, a tarot reader, an all-round fantastic witch, and just a lovely woman. She does retreats up in Woodstock, New York. She tours with Emily Autumn as part of her backing, it's not really a backing band, but as part of her touring companions who are called the Bloody Crumpets, which I think is a brilliant name. She does burlesque in New York. She travels around. Basically, she's just a really inspiring, passionate, balls to the wall kind of witch lady. And I love her to pieces. I've been involved with her parlour classes and group for about a year now, and she's amazing. The other ladies and gentlemen, of course, who take part in the parlour sessions really do feel like an online coven. I feel very blessed to have come to Veronica, to have found her, and to have found the parlourites, as I like to call them. But to cut a long story short, last year or the year before, she launched her Beginner's Tarot. Now, while I'm not a beginner, I've been reading tarot on and off pretty much since I started this path, which was 14 years ago. So I don't really consider myself a beginner. However, I do consider myself a beginner in reading intuitively. For most of my time, the first few years I needed the guidebook. For the last few years, I've pretty much read as intuitively as I could, but I felt like I needed a little bit of guidance. And I've always had a real pull to the way, to the way that Veronica reads cards. Her method seemed very authentic, I suppose is the word I'd like to use. So with that in mind, a couple of weeks ago, well, 6-7 weeks ago, she put on her website that she was going to offer this Beginner's Tarot course online in the usual format for the last time. I jumped on it. I've been so involved with the course. I really wanted to do it. As luck would have it, I seemed to have the money at the time, and so I went ahead and I did it. The last session of Beginner's Tarot was Sunday. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it live, but I do have the recording to watch, which I'm going to watch after I make this video. And I can honestly say that for the first time, I get it. I feel like I understand the tarot cards more now. I feel like I can see the Fool's journey a lot more clearly. I can see how that would relate to my own life, my own journey. The meanings of the cards are sticking in my head better, which is something I could never really grasp before. And she's going to be announcing today, I believe. So by the time this video goes up, she should have already announced it. If not, sorry for the spoilers. She's actually just announced the advanced tarot course again. Once again, I'm jumping on it and I'm going to do it because I really think it's something that I want to do. I love her methods. I love the way she teaches tarot, and to me, it just makes so much sense to do it that way. So I've rediscovered my love for tarot. I'm just going to put my own face up on the screen a minute. Hello, there I am. The deck that I've been using, I actually have a couple of tarot decks that I like, but the one I've been using at the moment is the Wild Unknown. I already had the second edition, but I felt a bit of a hankering for the first edition. There are only very subtle differences, and some people would say that the second edition is better. Of course, there will now be a third edition because Kim McCrant, the artist, that's probably where Arthur was, a mixture of author and artist, has just announced that she has formed a deal with a publishing house to produce the deck. So that's actually quite exciting, and that will be happening, if it hasn't already happened, that'll be happening soon. But I'm going off on a tangent again, and I'll shut up and stop rambling about that. I'll try and stay on topic. Basically, I had a hankering after the first edition. I always loved the first edition. It wasn't quite as big and bombastic and colourful. It was a little more understated. Well, long story short, I've managed to get hold of some. For those of you who haven't seen The Wild Unknown, the artwork in it, I think, is just... It's not in any way even similar to the Rider-Waite artwork. It's very different. It is its very own thing. And here is an example. The light is probably a little too bright for you to see that, so hold that thought. I'm probably going to go dark for just a second. That's a little better. Okay, so this is the Fool card from The Wild Unknown. Quite a lot of people have tattoos actually incorporating artwork from The Wild Unknown, and I can really see why. It's just a beautiful deck. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't considered a tattoo of some of this stuff myself. Sorry, I just wondering why some of my cards upside down and some up. Okay. So yeah, here's the High Priestess card. Just another absolutely beautiful one. Yeah, so basically I've been looking after this this deck for a while. That's better, now you can see me again. And I finally managed to get it. So I've been following my way through the Beginner's Tarot course. The workbooks themselves are ridiculously detailed and in-depth. I've actually had to print them out and put them in a folder. So there's quite a lot of stuff going on in there. I'm ridiculously behind with the workbook, so I really need to, before we start the advanced tarot course, I need to brush up on that and make sure I fill in all my exercises. So that's the main thing I've been doing, is trying to delve back into the tarot journey and to deepen my understanding of and my experience with the tarot. That's a calling I've felt for quite a while, actually. It's just something that I wanted to do, and something now that that somehow the stars seem to have aligned in my favour, and I've managed to be able to do that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was, I think I mentioned a while ago, maybe in the more recent videos that I've made, that over in Bulk I spent 2 days in Glastonbury. I will be going back to Glastonbury. I will be there on March the 6th for an overnight with a friend this time, not with my husband. But the reason I wanted to go to Glastonbury was I wanted to visit Goddess House, which, by the way, is a ridiculously beautiful, calming, just inspiring environment to be in. I had a wonderful back massage with a lovely therapist there named Mandini. Beautiful back massage. She also gifted me a blessing of breed, which I thought was really, really lovely. I was lucky enough while I was there to meet the beautiful Egyptian, Olivia, who works there. She's absolutely lovely. I didn't get to spend as much time with her as I would have liked to, obviously, being as she was working. But we had a very brief conversation, and it was absolutely nice, lovely to meet her. So I'm glad that happened. If you haven't seen her channel, I urge you to check it out. She's at Egyptian, but I will put a link to her channel in the down bar. So that was great. I've been feeling called now for a little while to the process of Avalon trainings. Not necessarily the Avalon training, but the Goddess Temple in general in Glastonbury and the other teachings that they do. I'm a little annoyed because I did apply for the Discovery training, which will take place in August. However, I left it too late in work to book holidays, so it doesn't look like that's going to happen now. Even if I do get accepted, I won't be able to do it because I won't be able to have the time off. That said, I am still considering applying for Priestess of Avalon training. That doesn't start till October though, so I have plenty of time to mull it over and think about that. But on that note, I have been feeling very drawn to the work they do in general. So while I was in Glastonbury for In Bulk, my husband bought me a birthday present, which was Kathy Jones's book, Priestess of Avalon, Priestess of the Goddess. I haven't gotten very far into it, but the bits that I have read so far are really, really inspiring. So I think I'm probably heading down the right sort of track with these feelings and calls I'm getting from Goddess. My path recently has taken much more of a Goddess turn. I've never really been one for loads of spell work. I've never really been the type to cast spells regularly anyway. I've always been more of a religious witch, I suppose, and that most of the work I do revolves around ritual and speaking to the goddess and honouring the seasons and trying, and sometimes failing, but trying to follow the wheel of the year. For me, it's about connection. It is a faith, not just a practice. And I am feeling as if I need to deepen my connection to and my relationship with the goddess. I really do feel like she's calling to me for me to do that. How I'm going to do that, I'm not entirely sure. I'm putting it out to the universe that I would like some kind of guidance in that aspect, but I really do want to connect with her more deeply. The friend that is coming to Glastonbury with me now in March is a close friend of mine that I've known probably since I was about 4 years old, and she is interested in this path too. So I'm not really teaching her per se, it's more of I'm helping to guide her through a little bit, and we are experiencing certain aspects of the goddess path together, which is nice. She's basically walking along with me a little while I pursue my own path and finding hers in the process. Also, I do need to mention really quickly, my other student, Faceless Monkey Art and Design, or Nathan as he's also known, has begun making a YouTube channel. I don't know the link off the top of my head, but I will find it. And I know currently he's making videos on Facebook. If he hasn't started making YouTube videos yet, Nathan, hurry up, get some videos on YouTube so I can link to them. So when his channel link becomes available to me, I will also let you know about that. He is a fantastic artist. He's really, he is a gay man, He's very intuitive and very artistically adventurous, for want of a better word. So I really ask you to check him out. If you can't check him out on Facebook, please do go onto Facebook and search for Faceless Monkey Art and Design, and he will come up. He's a lovely, lovely guy and a great artist, and I'm quite proud to say that he's my student. I don't know if he still is my student, being as I haven't actually seen him in a while. But I've been quite proud and pleased of my part in his spiritual journey so far, so that's great. I think that's really all I wanted to ramble about for a minute. Oh, on the subject of goddess and the goddess wheel of the year and blah 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 blah, I've recently come across Mandy C and Co's the Goddess group on Mandy's YouTube channel, which they are a group of wonderful women who are undertaking a year-long journey through the wheel, through Cathy Jones's Wheel of the Year, Avalon Wheel of the Year, which is really inspiring. I'm going to try and follow along with this as best as I can. Granted, the one book they reference in the videos I can't get hold of. I don't know if it's out of print or if it's not available anymore, but I can't find it. That said, I do have Priestess of Avalon, which I will use to the best of my ability. And I'm also going to buy another one of her books when I return to Glastonbury in March, in a couple of weeks' time. So that really is all I have to ramble about for a little minute. Because I've already been speaking for 16 minutes, that's probably a ramble too long. I apologise for the mess behind me. If I tilted the camera up a little, you'd see some lovely goddess artwork. Actually, I may even do that just to show you, because they're by the beautiful and gorgeous Laura Daligan, and I do really feel like they should be seen. So excuse the cleavage shot for just a minute. There they are. You've got Lou, and you've got Ellen of the Ways, and I absolutely love those pictures. They have pride of place on my wall. I only wish I was taller so that you could see me and them at the same time. Unfortunately, I'm not. So you have the lovely view of half of my altar, my breed's cross, and my electric drum kit and my husband's bass. We are musical beings. This is what we do. We only have a small house. We have to combine everything in this room, which I also use for my witchy pursuits. So yeah, so that's that. Thank you very much for watching. Blessed be, and I will be back very soon with the next instalment of the YouTube Pagan Challenge 2017 and some of the news about my website. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Blessed be, and have a wonderful day. Thank you guys.